Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Brass, and this video is going to walk you through what you need to do to get your Lenny ready for your CTPs. The first thing we're going to do is get your Lenny ready by checking your desktop. So you want to make sure that you have this PC, Recycle Bin, and ERB Secure Browser on your desktop. Don't worry if you have other icons, they're not going to be a problem. The big one we want to make sure you have is this ERB Secure Browser. If you don't have that link, you're going to have to make sure that you see Senior Lieber, Miss Collins, Mr. Roy, or myself sometime in the next day or two to make sure everything is set. It'll take us about 5 minutes to install. Next, we need to check Chrome. So sometimes people install extensions that are pop-up blockers, which in many cases can be a good thing, but in this case, during the test, it's a bad thing. So you want to make sure that you don't have any of these symbols, and they'd only be there if you'd installed it. If you find a pop-up blocker, you're going to right-click on the icon and then select Remove from Chrome. For the most part, middle schoolers don't have to worry about it, but just in case you see that because you've added it, you need to remove it. The next thing we're going to do is run a system check. I have instructions on the screen, but I think it's better if I just show you. So I'm going out to a new tab in Chrome, and I'm going to click on my little house button. Remember, the house button will bring you to the middle school info site. And we're going to scroll down until we see CTP ERB portal. I'm going to click on that, and this will take a minute to get there. Now I'm going to go to the one that says Check Readiness. It's the first thing on the list. And from here, I'm going to go down to Run System Check. Once I'm here, I'm going to type my first and last name. And I'm going to type my grade. In my case, I'm faculty. And I'm going to click Run Check. And what this is going to do, it's going to take probably between 3 and 7 minutes, and it's going to run a bunch of different tests on your computer and on your browser just to make sure that everything is as it should be. I'm going to pause this video so you don't have to watch me do this and you can do it yourself. Once I'm done, I'm going to walk you through the next steps. Okay, so a few minutes have passed and my system check is done. I have this big warning symbol, and at first it kind of looks freaky because I'm like, wait a minute, my test didn't pass. Well, you know what? It's just fine. When I look under results, I see browser and it's giving me a warning. I'm doing my test in Chrome. Don't worry about it. It's just fine. So if you have that warning, it should be just fine. And where it says Flash plugin not supported, again, that should be fine as well. As long as you have Chrome set up and you're using it regularly, we should have the correct version. If you don't have any other warning symbols, we're all set to go, and you can close out of your system check results. If there's something else that shows up, please show your teacher right away so that we can have one of the tech people come and help. Mine's fine, so I'm going to close out of these two tabs. And let's get back to the other things we need to check out. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to disable updates. So I'm going to escape out of the video again, and let's start out by making sure that we have our Apple updates disabled. So I typed in Apple and click on Software Updates. You're just going to see this when you turn on your computer. If you don't see it, don't worry about it. You don't have to force it like I did. But if you do see it, you can go ahead and quit it so that you don't have to worry about it until you restart your computer. Java updates, Flash updates, you can quit or cancel. You just don't want to have them running during the test. Now, to do the Windows update settings, this you only have to worry about for Windows 10, so if you're an 8th grader watching this, disregard this part of the video. To disable Windows updates, and again, this is only for Windows 10, we're going to go down to the Windows button in the corner, and I'm going to go up to my little sprocket to Settings. Then I'm going to go to this icon. You might have to scroll down a little bit to get there, that says Update and Security. I'm going to click on that, and that will bring me to Windows Update. From here, I'm going to go down to Advanced Options. And now I'm going to make sure that under Paused Updates, I have this turned on. If yours says Off, go ahead and select Off. And then once you click on it, it'll turn it on. Then we're going to go down to choose how updates are delivered. And this one should be off. So we have two things we've done. We've made sure our Windows updates under this area are turned off, and under pause updates, it's turned on. This means that our computer isn't going to try to run updates during our assessment. So pause updates turned on, and our choose updates how updates are delivered turned off. So part 2, prepare yourself. So the night before the test, make sure you get a good night's sleep. When you wake up in the morning, have a good breakfast and come to school with your normal positive attitude. And make sure you have the appropriate supplies. On the testing day, make sure you have your Lenny, your charger, your calculator, and an independent reading book. It would be really smart to plug in your Lenny so you don't have to worry about the charger, but bring the charger just in case. You never know if there's an emergency and you have to charge during the assessment. Each day, you want to make sure that you boot and log in the room where you're testing. Make sure that your background is set so that it doesn't change and that your cursor is kept at the default settings. Notice how my cursor is just the plain, normal, boring white cursor. It doesn't have a big tail. It doesn't look like a little dancing dinosaur. I haven't done anything funky with it. So make sure that if you've modified any of those things, that you turn them back. It's also a good idea to do Control-Alt-Delete to kill any running apps if you think you might have something running in the background. For the most part, middle school students don't have to worry about that, but it's good to consider. Check your Wi-Fi before the testing to verify your connection. I'm going to show you where I check that. If I go down in the corner over here, it looks like I only have 2 bars. That's probably enough for the test, but if you have any kind of a weird little symbol on there, like a little yellow shield or an exclamation, or if you have an airplane instead, then get help. Also, make sure that your battery is close to full. Mine is at 86%. That would be just fine for the assessment. You want to make sure that you have at least 75%. So again, just some things that'll prevent other issues. Make sure that you do not have any animated backgrounds, that your computer isn't set to scroll through picture after picture after picture. If you do that, that's going to wear out your battery too quickly and it's going to slow down your computer. Also make sure you have your basic boring default and non-animated cursor, that your battery is charged, that you don't have any applications running, and that you can see the wireless. So, do you have any questions? If so, talk to your proctor or see one of your tech people and we're happy to help.